A wealthy woman, worth millions, leaves her home in a limousine, but despite her riches, she lives frugally, often eating frozen fast food and refusing to turn on the lights just to save $5. For the past 10 years, her extreme thriftiness didn't pay off as she hoped. It resulted in a divorce from her husband, and even her daughter wanted to move out. Feeling lost, the woman began to question her choices. In an effort to unwind, she decided to take a trip. Little did she know, this decision would lead her down a troubling path. Upon arriving at a resort hotel, she noticed a gentleman who seemed to have an interest in her. Intrigued, she asked the waitress about him and learned that he was the owner of the hotel, with several bars across the country. Seeing a potential connection, the woman deliberately bumped into him, sparking a conversation. Nick, as the man introduced himself, was warm and welcoming. He even gave her his business card, which showcased his impressive accomplishments. Seeing his success and gentlemanly demeanor, the woman was drawn to him. The next morning at breakfast, she accidentally ran into him again, and to her surprise, they shared similar tastes, even reading the same books. Nick invited her to his yacht, teaching her how to sail. The time they spent together deepened their connection, and the woman felt happiness like never before. Nick revealed that he was divorced and had a young son, who was cared for by his ex-wife. Recently, he had even purchased a mansion, further impressing the woman. He seemed to be everything her ex-husband wasn't, and from that point on, they saw each other every day. Soon, Nick confessed his love for her. Though she was surprised, she believed him, as he seemed genuinely in tune with her life. Without hesitation, she accepted his love. The following day, Nick brought her to his newly bought mansion, presenting it as a gift. He asked her to be his only one and even offered her a hotel to manage. Overcome with emotion, she agreed. Excitedly, she shared the news with her daughter, but her daughter was skeptical, warning her mother about being too impulsive and getting scammed. The daughter also reminded her that their salon needed attention. However, the woman was confident she could handle everything and dismissed her daughter's concerns. Upset, the daughter hung up the phone. The woman continued spending time with Nick, but one day, he mentioned a problem. Due to his divorce agreement, he needed to sell one of his hotels, and the buyer he had lined up was hesitating because of his new mansion. He was due to make a final payment of €225,000 the following week, or else the property would go to someone else. Nick confessed that he didn't have the cash at the moment. The woman, feeling distressed, offered to pay it for him, but Nick declined, suggesting they meet for dinner after his meeting instead. Eager to surprise him, the woman went ahead and wired the money to the estate, expecting to see Nick's joyful reaction at dinner. However, Nick didn't show up until late that night, explaining he had been at a party. When he learned she had paid the balance, Nick was moved and promised to love her forever. The next day, they received the keys to the mansion, and the woman was thrilled to see what she thought would be her new home that night. She and Nick spent a romantic evening together, but the next morning, everything changed. She awoke to strangers bursting into the house, demanding that she leave. Confused, the woman explained that she had just bought the house, but they insisted it was theirs, explaining that her rental period with a B&B service had ended. Shocked and unsure of what was happening, she was forced out of the house. Frustrated, the woman returned to the hotel and asked the staff where Nick was. To her surprise, the waitress told her she had never heard of him.